Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. Welcome to the Daily Drop-In Morning Show, where the Teach Better team is live every single morning, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern. It is Friday, May 6th. Woo. Gotten through the week. We're headed into Mother's Day weekend. There's a ton to continue to celebrate. And my celebration is that, guys, Brad Hughes is in the house, which is a good day. Please go fill up your coffee, and we'll be right back for hopefully a little bit of a good show. Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday, May 6th. Brad, I feel like I have not seen you in 1,200 years.
Ray, part of those 1,200 years were some time in sunny California for you and team. So I'm welcoming you back. Excited to have you back in the saddle here. Enjoyed a great daily drop-in last week, Ray, with Dr. Dave Schmitto, and had a wonderful time. But gosh, you're the original, the one and only, and I'm really glad that you're back. And welcome back from California.
Oh, it was so fun to be able to do that. What was that? A week ago. Yeah, we did that a week ago. It's crazy. I'll tell you now, there's no reason to be jealous because I'm looking out of my office window. It is cold and dreary and raining and gray. So it feels a little bit different. I was constantly yesterday trying to figure out, like, when we relaunch Daily Drop-In next year, how can we do the weather? Because I feel like my weather that I report out is really not anything interesting.
It's getting milder here in Southern Ontario, and a beautiful day yesterday. Kids and adults alike were outside on the yards enjoying soccer, the playground equipment, games of tag, hide and seek, just being out and just soaking up the sun, the great vitamin D, the positive energy. And I'm not sure what's in store for us today, Ray, but we're going to make the sunshine inside and out, no matter what happens.
There you go. I love that positivity. I think we need to pick 6 different cities around the world where we know that we have friends in our Teach Better community that live in, and we'll only report on those 6 areas. Then at least we get a little bit of a variety. I don't recommend choosing all cities in the Midwest or all cities in Canada. I think we need to kind of give a little bit of variety in time zones, variety in, types of environments. I think that would be kind of a good direction to go.
I think so too. If folks are joining us this morning for the Daily Drop-In Live, you could always let us know who you are, where you are, and what the weather is in your world. We could do live updates here, Ray, as the comments come in.
I love it. That'd be great from the comments. So good. For those of you who are kind of planning your calendars throughout the month, as a reminder, Daily Drop-In will take a summer break. So we are here for one more month, welcoming you into your morning every single morning. Our last show will be June 3rd, which is still a month away. And Brad and I will be kind of wrapping up that show before summer break. Take a few months off, and then we're excited to kick back on, I hope, for a back to school. So we'll be all set to go.
A refresh and a reset is always important, no matter if you're hosting a daily morning show or whether you're wrapping up a school year and getting ready for the next one, or just any of your personal endeavors, just reflecting on the great things that you've accomplished and also restoring your energy, and also, getting people to chime in with new ideas to refresh the look or refresh the energy. It's always important to take that break, right?
Yeah, so if anybody here listening, whether you're listening live with us and you want to give us the feedback in the comments, or if you're listening on Teach Better Talk podcast after the fact, feel free to direct message us or email us and let us know what you think might be valuable on the show. Give us your feedback and we'll do our best to make it happen. I mean, that's kind of how the Teach Better team works, right? Everything that we have been able to put in place to support teachers and administrators and everything in between really comes from your feedback. So let us know what you think. But Brad, aside from all that, because that's still a month away, how was your week?
A great week. I'm gonna just let you know I'm feeling tired today. I'm a little bit low on the energy, but I just think it's because of the strong work that everybody has been pulling together to do at school, and it is a challenging time. In many districts, sort of the school year is wrapping up. I think we're down to the to the teens, the low teens, maybe instructional days left. We in Ontario are continuing to greet and work with students right up to the end of June. But I think my energy is going to continue to ramp up better and better. And we, again, a strong week and a great team. How about you? And how about you and your contacts?
Yeah, no, I think it's okay to acknowledge the normalcy of having a little bit of a roller coaster of energy throughout a
Mhm.
week, right?
Yeah.
And there'll be a moment today, Brad, I can just predict it, where you'll be high energy, goofing off with a student, maybe dancing down the hall, and you'll be like, "Oh, my energy is so high." But it's okay then that this morning or maybe multiple times throughout your day, especially in the evening, that energy goes down and you're dragging a little bit. I think that's normal for your body to be giving you some of that emotional energy roller coaster.
Hmm.
But I do like when it's more consistency, when I can feel or consistent, when I can feel good when I wake up and kind of keep that the entire day. But on a Friday, that's really hard. I feel like Fridays are maybe an appropriate spot for some boosts of energy, and then you go down to being like, okay, I need a nap.
A really cool educator and author that I really admire writes about and talks about today's best. Ray Hewart is her name. And I was reflecting this morning because I knew we would talk about our week, and sort of I was thinking, yeah, I'm feeling, yeah, anyway, I'm feeling it. But what I'm discovering, Ray, is that not only can you give yourself permission to provide today's best, but just as you're saying, within the day of your best, there may be some ups and downs, and I guess every moment of interaction or every moment of sort of changing gears from task to task is an opportunity to sort of do a check in with your energy level. And I've been talking with school leaders this week on Mastermind on Tuesday evening about the fact that the plate is always going to be full. So on your plate, are there tasks at work that you find restorative, just naturally restore your energy, you look forward to doing? Make sure those get sprinkled in, because I mean the work is always going to be there. So why not include aspects of your work that are going to be restorative and that are going to be energizing for you? So not only today's best, but I guess your moment to moment or minute to minute best, Ray, is something I'm going to strive to do today.
I love that reminder. So, so valuable. Your best does not need to be 100% all the time. It's okay to accept that today, even though you typically have 100% of yourself to give, today you're only at a 40%, which is a huge low energy dip, but you're going to give 100% of that 40%. Holy moly. You're going to give everything you've got. And that's all right. I think that's all right.
And that's what we strive to do. I mean, I think about you getting up early, 6 a.m. Central each and every day, and interacting with guests, and just bringing what you can, bringing whatever you can. And I'm going to say, as far as educators and education is concerned, I'm going to say that 40% is someone else's 100% any day of the week. So educators out there, honor your energy level, honor what you're accomplishing, give yourself permission and blessing just to be who you are, where you are right now, and know that it's going to make a difference to at least one person, and then that ripple effect, you just never know without it end right.
I love that reminder. So, so wonderful on a Friday morning. I will say, you mentioned Mastermind. Can we give a quick spoiler alert on Admin Mastermind?
100%. Yeah, we've got some mastermind ideas. A mastermind refresh is coming up, right?
We are. Yeah, I mean, we mentioned daily drop-in, taking a summer break. Mastermind's doing the opposite. Mastermind is like getting a refresh this summer.
Yeah.
Starting June 7th, that entire administrator mastermind program is getting a little bit of a facelift. One of which that I'm really excited about. This isn't necessarily public knowledge. So if you're listening in, you're getting kind of the inside scoop. But if you're an administrative leader, whether you be like a coach, an instructional coach, a tech coach, a assistant principal, a principal, you might be a superintendent, a director of curriculum instruction. If you're in a leadership role in the building, this could be a group that you might want to decide to join. It typically meets on Tuesdays. It will continue to meet on Tuesdays, but on June 7th, there'll be a new time, and there'll actually be an opportunity for educators to earn badges for some certifications for some key theme discussions that we're going to have throughout the month. So I'm very excited for us to feature more educators, more expertise, and also get those themes going.
It's always going to be a space, Ray, where educators and school leaders in all walks can come together and just shoot around some problems of practice, some things that are sticking with us, some things that need to be addressed, or maybe even some emerging issues or challenges that we've never dealt with before. And just we brainstorm, we support, people frequently leave feeling that they've got at least one fresh idea they can try. If nothing else, you've got that moral and practical support of a team of school leaders that is walking your walk and is talking your talk and is there for you. From meeting to meeting, we're in touch on Voxer and by email and text. And so we've got lots and lots of support. In addition, having people be able to come together around a theme means that our school leaders that are becoming regulars are coming equipped to really do a deeper dive into some conversation. So it's great. It's a combination of great intention, but also great responsiveness, right? Depending on what you were bringing into the mastermind.
Well, Brad, you know that while Mastermind is wonderful, the community here is going to be so excited to join Mastermind. If any of you are currently holding a leadership role, or if you intend to be holding a leadership role come this summer, because Brad, you're one of the facilitators. So it's just more Brad Hughes time in my mind. That's a win, especially for our daily drop-in community. People love Fridays when Brad Hughes is in the house. So think about it. You can get Brad Hughes Tuesdays and Fridays in a typical year.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's a lot of Brad. I got to tell you, I can't almost even put up with myself for that long. But anyone that comes into the space is very, very welcome. There's usually a lot less shenanigans and wordplay on our Tuesday masterminds. It's more of a serious process-focused kind of group, but it's still got the teach better spirit. You know, a little bit better today, a little bit better tomorrow, and again, just leaving that space hopefully energized, a little bit more restored, and leaving with a little bit more hope. And Adam, I really think, depending on who you talk to, it's absolutely possible there's too much Brad. It's small doses, Adam. But thank you for that vote of confidence.
Nope. I think I don't have enough Brad in my week. So I'm going to tell you, I am attending Mastermind. I do almost every single Tuesday, and I will continue to, even with this refresh coming this summer, because there is never enough Brad time. Trust me, friends. I work with him.
The fact, Ray, that you are there, I mean, hopefully leaving that space with some energy and ideas yourself, but your contributions as a colleague and as a leader in the Teach Better team are great for me too. Like, I always feel supported by everyone that shows up. So I'm glad that you make time to do that. Thank you.
I appreciate it. I'm excited for that refresh, but you know, Brad, before we get into all of the rest of the show, I just love catching up with you. Any plans this weekend? It's Mother's Day weekend. I mean, it's currently Friday, May 6th. So I know we all have, wonderful days ahead, but then it's Mother's Day weekend. I know there's an F1 race. I mean, what are your plans?
All of the above. Hopefully enjoying some great Southern Ontario weather. We have a spot that we get away to on weekends that opens this weekend on Lake Huron, about an hour and a half away. So we'll be spending a little bit of time on the lake, and probably on Sunday catching the replay of the Miami race, the Formula One race weekend this week, and of course celebrating mums and everybody in a parental role, in a mum role this weekend.
Oh, it'll be so fun. I feel like I'm cheating a little bit because I'm seeing a few of my parents tonight. As many of you know, I have obviously my wonderful parents I talk about all the time, and then I have a lot of aunt and uncle equivalents that I also see in parental roles. So I get to see some of them tonight, which I'm very excited about, to treat them to dinner. And then I actually get to see a few more of them on Saturday. So I get to see my grandmother on Saturday. So it's going to be a wonderful woman-filled weekend, I think, is what it's going to craft out to be.
Well, talk about restorative and connective, Ray, an opportunity to, get back in touch with your loved ones and relatives and really just, seek community. And are you going out? So you mentioned going out for dinner. Anything special on the menu?
Honestly, Brad, I was going to try not to talk about it, but I'm going to my favorite restaurant in the city, and I am a sucker for it. I will go the entire day. I actually get to work with a few people at National Louis University today. We're doing a venue site visit, and I'm going to learn more about their education program, how they're supporting future educators, and also educational leadership at National Louis University. In Chicago. I'm excited to shout out them and support the program they're doing. And then I am headed to my favorite restaurant, which I think that's like the most exciting part of my day. It's so silly that's what I'm looking forward to. But 6:00 tonight, 12 hours from now, I'm going to be sitting at a table with my favorite food. I can't wait.
If I remember right, it's an Italian restaurant and it's got an Italian name. Are you able to give it a shout out?
Yeah, shout out to Piccolo Sogno. It's on Grand and Halstead in Chicago. And the owners are wonderful. I'm excited to see family there. And Brad, I would love someday for you to come to Chicago, and I would love to treat you to dinner because it is the best food in the world. The best food.
I would like that a lot, and I understand that like I can even order Ray's pasta.
Yes,
Not on the menu, but I can order that. That's what I'll do.
that is what I will be getting tonight. And unfortunately, I will say it's the only place that I will claim I go by Rachel, because I do have to order Rachel's pasta. Yes, and there's no other place in the world where Rachel is ever going to be accepted. But to get the pasta, I'll call myself whatever they want. That's a good pasta.
You know you've arrived, or at least you know you're on a wonderful, intimate basis with the owners when you've got your very own off the menu item.
It's true. It's true, right? That's the goal in life, to be able to walk in somewhere and have an off the books item on the menu. I love it. All right, Brad. Well, I know that we are headed into so many different discussions we need to have today, especially wrapping up the fact that it's Teacher Appreciation Week. And we are giving away 22 items for 2022. So if you're an educator and this is our last call for you, you definitely need to make sure that you go enter to win one of those items. You can head over to teachbetter.com/appreciation to do that. I'm not encouraging you to necessarily close the tab that you're watching Brad and I this morning on the Daily Drop-In, but go do it right away so you don't forget. teachbetter.com/appreciation. But Brad, we also need to document our moment of gratitude. So do you want to kick off that discussion this morning?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'm so grateful again just for the power of team, leveraging people's interests, strength, and energy. And we were talking about energy dips today, Ray. And if you look around your workplace or your community, you can often find someone who has the initiative and the capacity to step in and step up when others might be feeling a bit low. So I'm just going to express gratitude for the power of team today.
I love that. I said the power of team, energy dips, and pasta. I think
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's good to share appreciation. I love it. For those of you who are also documenting your moment of gratitude every single morning with us here on the show, shout out to Happy Feed, which is a free app we use to kind of track all that fun. So here's your reminder. If you haven't done that yet this morning, we'll head into some good news. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Daily Drop-In Morning Show. We're headed into some good news and some holidays. So, Brad, how you feeling? Are we going to do the article first?
Article first, as always, our Friday tradition. And Ray, when you think about maintaining your positive outlook and restoring your energy if it's low, do you have any go-to strategies for the Chicago area, USA?
You know, I should, but I'm just so eager to hear your ideas that maybe I'll have to go back to that.
Well, I'm thinking that a delicious dinner with family at an Italian restaurant where you have your own personal pasta might be, a Chicagoland thing. I'm bringing you an article today from goodnet.org about 7 wellness habits from around the world. Our discussion this week in terms of teacher appreciation has also touched on the conditions where it's possible for teachers, educators, and frankly, everyone to prioritize wellness. And so this article tells us about 7 habits or 7 traditions. For example, in India, it's an ancient traditional medicine of drinking warm lemon water in the morning, a vitamin C boost, and a powerful antioxidant that boosts your immune system. Go ahead, Ray.
Have you had lemon water, or is that something that you're familiar with? Because I think that sounds delicious in the morning.
It really is. I often, as an alternative to more and more coffee or tea during the day, will just have a slice of lemon in a cup of boiling water and sip that and just keep refilling the water. And it's great.
For those of you that may not have explored, I really do prefer it hot. I'm not necessarily like a cold ice water with a lemon person, but you give me like a boiling cup of water with some lemon, it's a completely different beverage. So try it out this morning.
Have you ever had any sauna time like they do in Finland, Ray?
I have, but not in years. Tell me more.
Well, in Finland, sauna is a tradition, a bathing ritual in a hot steam or a hot dry area. And there are more and more studies that are showing that sauna experience is great for cardiovascular health. So that's how they do it in Finland. In Denmark, as a counter to the sauna, they dip into icy water. They take icy plunges, and maybe they hurry off to a sauna afterwards. But other parts of the world celebrate the opportunity to come together with family, an evening stroll in Italy. Actually, the photo that is posted here, I'll pop it in our stream there. The photo that's there just reminds me of maybe your dream destination. It's a piazza with arches and light coming in from the arches, and there's people strolling and opportunity to enjoy Rachel's pasta. So anyway, this article just talks about different traditions of wellness around the world, and maybe there are some that you can incorporate today, Ray, or that our listeners and viewers could incorporate it, but also taking time to celebrate what works for each of us.
I love those traditions. I love noting not only traditions that, we could go explore, learn about new areas, new cultures, new, traditions that exist in the world. But if any of you are looking for ideas to snag those ideas, I love that. Bree's talking about that, she has a sauna that's being installed in her gym here in a little bit. And so bringing that tradition all the way to the US and celebrating that in Ohio definitely sounds good. So for any of you that also have ideas, feel free to throw them in the chat. I'm really upset by the comments of people saying that they prefer ice water instead with the lemon. I'm not a fan, guys, but I'm glad you have found happiness in it. It's not my thing. Meh.
No, I'm with you, Ray. I like that hot lemon, just a tiny sip at a time. But boy, cold lemonade, maybe after cutting the grass or just maybe lazing in the sun, is also an awesome treat.
Yeah, no, I do like lemonade. See, now we're changing it up. That's a completely different type of thing. I don't know. I think that's different, but
yeah, adding sugar, that's a game changer.
Oh yeah, I think when you add sugar, I'm game. I'm in. That's a good thing. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot actually of holidays today as we get into Friday, May 6th. Mm-hmm. Thanks for that good news article, Brett. I liked those. There's some interesting holidays here that I don't know if any of our community will choose to celebrate, but let's get into these. One is that it is International No Diet Day. So whatever diet you all are thinking you're on, today is not the day. Break it. You know what? If any of you are in the Chicagoland area, come to dinner with me. Have some pasta. Let's get those calories because it's a no diet day. Brad, will you be celebrating International No Diet Day?
I guess in a way, Ray. I don't. I don't diet. I just try to focus on eating in moderation and enjoying snacks when I can. So I can't say I've ever dieted, and maybe not paying too much attention to what I eat or how I eat it, but just striving to be balanced, I guess.
Balance is good. I support that. In addition to Teacher Appreciation Week, it's also National Nurses Day today. So what an incredible opportunity for us to thank that incredible profession of nurses. It's National Beverage Day. So it says here, whether you prefer hot or cold, this is one for every taste. So go figure. We were talking about hot and cold beverages. Today is National Beverage Day.
Talk about synergy. It was meant to be.
Yes, I love it. It's National Military Spouse Appreciation Day, National Provider of Appreciation Day, which is interesting. I like that one. National Space Day, National Tourist Appreciation Day, National No Pants Day. I'm not celebrating that one, friends. Keep your pants on. School Lunch Hero Day. That's an interesting one. And of course, it's George Clooney's birthday. So there's a lot going on right there.
I want to back up about 6 holidays to the appreciator. Was that right? It's a day to appreciate the appreciator. So we've got
I think I emphasized the wrong word when I read it, because now that I'm looking back, it has a little tweak. It's National Provider of Appreciation Day. But I think when in the phrasing, it's the appreciation for the people that are providing the appreciation. That makes sense?
So we've got this is like a vortex of appreciation. We're appreciating the appreciators that appreciate, and okay, there's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, I think that we should just be really appreciative.
Well, I appreciate you, appreciator. I'm just going to shout you out right now.
You know what, Brad? I appreciate you appreciating the appreciation providers.
Yeah, and likewise, I appreciate that you appreciate that I'm appreciating your appreciation of the appreciation providers. And stay tuned, folks. We could do this for the rest of the hour.
We'll be right back. My comments blowing up up with people saying, I appreciate you both. It's hysterical. Oh my goodness. Hello, friends. Thank you for tuning into the Daily Drop-In. We are a little behind schedule, but I think we're doing okay as we continue to share our appreciation for all of you who are appreciating us. We're heading into our Brainstorm Bank. This is a segment that many of you know we do every single day to just pause and check in with you and say, hey, friends, do you need anything? As Daily Drop-In continues to be a show that welcomes you into the morning, Monday through Friday, as we stream on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn. We really love to ensure that we're not only maybe providing you with a little bit of humor, maybe getting you going for your morning, but also an opportunity where you know you can turn to if you are struggling with anything, if you are brainstorming through a hurdle. Brad and I don't, promise that we'll have the most perfect answer, but we definitely want to make sure that we are a part of that brainstorming session for you. Brad, the theme this week was teacher appreciation, and holy moly, has there been a lot of appreciation shared. What are your thoughts?
What really resonated with me, Ray, was that the appreciation that was being recognized and honored is also part of a culture of ongoing support and appreciation. You'll sometimes see posts critical of events or weeks like Teacher Appreciation Week or Blank Appreciation Week, saying, let's make sure we're appreciating teachers and educators, or whatever vocation goes in that blank. Make sure we're showing appreciation and support every day of every year, because the work is that important. And each and every person that showed up to express appreciation was also speaking from a culture where that is the norm, where you may not even have to have a Teacher Appreciation Week. And let's face it, that kind of a week allows us to bring a focus to and an intentional opportunity to celebrate. So it's always welcome, and just want to make sure that it's also part of a culture where appreciation and support are the norm.
Yeah, I think we've noted that a few times this week during the shows that we've had, to be able to say, well, the Teach Better community, we appreciate educators all the time, but especially this week, really bringing that to the forefront of the discussion, I think is so important. For a Teacher Appreciation Week, I know in every community it's a little different. Have you and your staff, taken any time to celebrate? I know it was not only Teacher Appreciation Week, but Teacher Appreciation Day, I believe, fell on Tuesday, which I know maybe that was more of a focus for many communities.
It wasn't an intentional celebration this week at our school or in our district. I'd like to think that in spite of that, we do maintain a culture of support and encouragement on a daily basis. We do take time to recognize, all of the different educators and all the different walks that contribute to making a school function. Our admin assistants, our custodial maintenance staff, our bus operators, our crossing guards. It's important not to get jaded about those opportunities too. Like sometimes you can go, oh, another appreciation day. Well, yes, absolutely another appreciation day. Let's just name that we have so many roles. Every community contribution is important and essential to the life of a child and to improving their outcomes. So let's just dig in and celebrate. I'm all for it.
It's kind of like, I know this is a bad analogy, but it's kind of like a birthday. Like my mother's birthday is next week. And during that specific day, I'm going to shower her with gifts and love, and we're going to just go extra. But I really love that woman, and I really appreciate her every other day of the year. We just put a little bit more of a focus because it's a special birthday for her. So I don't know. I just feel like it's kind of the same. But Brad, I wasn't aware of this. Livia and I on the Teach Better team were discussing this earlier this week, that Teacher Appreciation Week is a little bit more commonly found in the US, which I had no idea, although I know it's, maybe something that is acknowledged, around the world. A lot of US districts, especially public education districts, put a little bit more of an emphasis of it being something that's a little bit more planned and orchestrated. I had no idea that it was, celebrated differently in different areas. So it's kind of cool.
It really is cool, and it's great to learn about how educators and teachers are celebrated and supported in different districts and in different ways. And along with that emphasis on celebration and appreciation, there's a continued focus on doing what we can to support and maintain educator wellness, which is a huge focus, especially as we head to the end of the year, where energy may be low and stress, tension, and the demands of the role may be very high.
Yeah, so good. As we kind of wrap up our teacher appreciation discussion, for the week. And, now we get to give out those 22 prizes for those of you who
Yeah.
want to register for that. That's over at teachbetter.com/appreciation. 22 gifts for the year 2022. Brad, any thoughts on a teacher that, you had in your life that really impacted you that we can give a special shout out for as we kind of wrap up the week?
Well, 100%. The teacher that comes to mind is Debbie Tuck. Mrs. Tuck. Frau Tuck or Madame Tuck was also my French and German teacher at secondary school. Huge personality, huge heart, instilled a love of learning and languages for me. Gave me a tap on the shoulder and said, "Hey, we've got a peer tutoring program here at our secondary school. I think you can make a difference," and sort of really ignited my interest in and passion for educating and learning to come alongside peers who were looking for some academic support. So that was a huge learning opportunity for me, the opportunity to come alongside a learner, peer to peer. And so I just never looked back from there. And I was a French teacher for 16 years before shifting to school leadership, and was really inspired by Madame Tuck's influence. And again, I did all I could to bring some comedy, some energy, some drama, lots of music, just big personality, big engagement with language, and I owe all of that to Mrs. Debbie Tuck.
So wonderful. It's interesting, Brad, when I typically think through like a teacher to thank, I always turn to Laverne Lehman. She was my dance teacher for about 15 years. I mean, I love this woman. She truly crafted me into who I am today and did so much to allow me to find myself as I was, a young child figuring out what I wanted in life. But special shout out also to Miss Davison. Miss Davison was my second grade teacher who actually diagnosed me with my IEP, which I don't think to necessarily thank her very often. But as I think about how impactful it was at a young age to, get an IEP and get that support. And, obviously that carried me through all the way through high school before I dropped services my junior year. I think it's incredible that that educator saw a need and made, it happen so I could get support for years and years and years following. Very, very cool.
That really reinforces to me, Ray, the power and the potential of surrounding kids with as many loving and knowledgeable adults as we can. So as we look ahead to this weekend, we're celebrating moms. And this week we're reflecting back on celebrating educators. And I'll say it again, every role in the community adds value, whether it's a volunteer, whether it's a teacher or educator, whether it's a community member, a coach, a dance teacher. Let's celebrate the loving adults in kids' lives and let's honor the value that they add and talk about appreciation. If you know or work with one of those adults, make sure you let them know that you appreciate their impact. And if you are one of those adults, make sure you give yourself a moment of appreciation to say, "You're making a difference. Thanks," and keep it up.
Such a good reminder on this Friday. Brad, are you good to get into recapping this week?
I sure am, Ray.
All right, we'll be right back. My favorite song. I love this part of Fridays.
Me too.
Hey friends, as we wrap up Daily Drop-In, let's get into recapping our week and also previewing what's coming next week as we head further and further into May. Brad, we have a whole lot to celebrate this week, some great conversations, and definitely some educators to shout out. On Monday, though, was a goofy one. We had Katie Miglin in the house. It's always good to have Katie Miglin in Daily Drop-In episodes.
Laugh out loud worthy. You guys are a tremendous team. I mean, just the energy that you bring and the fun that you bring. And Katie is often ready just to jump in at a moment's notice, just like our friend Brianne Fennell.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Bree was so fun to have on Thursday. If you missed that one, shout out to Pamela Hall. It was not her fault at all. She had some tech issues on Thursday, but Bree was able to join the show for some time on Thursday, and it was so fun. Bree and Fennel on camera is always a good show. So I think we need to have Bree on camera more often. I think that that's just a goal that we're going to have internally to say, hey, can we get Bree on screen? That's the goal.
Earlier in the comments, Bree was wondering if there'd be an opportunity for a Bree and Brad, and you just never know. I'm up for that anytime.
I love it. So good. On Wednesday, we had a new face join us, but not a new face to me. Taylor McCormick joined. She was a clinical student I had about 100 years ago in my classroom. It was great to not only hear how her career was going so far as a seventh-year teacher, I think she shared, but also she lives, in kind of a similar area that I do now, and being able to kind of follow her journey over the last few years was fun. And talk about a passionate educator. She has a lot of spunk in her. She's always been that way, but it was fun to be able to feature her on the show.
If that was 100 years ago, Ray, I want to know what they're putting in the water in the Chicago area, because you don't look that old.
Well, I was saying, Brad, it was kind of crazy because when I had Taylor McCormick in my classroom, I was not a part of the Teach Better community. And
Yeah.
so I was reflecting with her. I think the year that she was in my classroom, the Teach Better team was either not even a thing yet or hadn't even been founded, or it was in its early years. I had not found it yet. And it was kind of an interesting reflective moment I had this week of, oh my gosh, there was a time where I was an educator without the Teach Better family, and that almost feels impossible right now in my life. So just such an interesting, perspective.
It really is. And any organization that brings you together with people who have a common focus and a common heart and a common commitment to service is a good one. So whether that's in your school building or whether it's an international kind of movement and network like Teach Better, celebrate those networks. And you're right, just as you expressed with your guest, we're all changed as a result of that mutual influence, right?
So good. Next week, Brad, there's some really good discussion and a topic I think you're going to find really interesting. Next week, the theme for our discussion is professional development, finding your perfect approach. So we're going to be discussing PD. We have some great guests joining us on the 9th, of course, kicking it off with Mr. Jeff Gargis. We miss him on screen. It's been a while. So excited to see his handsome face on a Monday morning. Always what we look forward to. On Tuesday, the 10th, in addition to it being Julie Ford's birthday, we have Chase Macknell joining us. That will be a new face to our Teach Better community, but definitely be able to dive into some good conversation there. On the 11th, we have a very familiar face joining us, especially if you're a part of our admin mastermind. Dr. Brian Zwemke will be joining us on the 11th to dive into, I'm sure he has opinions of professional development. That will be a good discussion. On the 12th, we have a new face joining us. Angie Andrews is an educator that is going to be sharing her passions with us. And actually, as somebody who feels very passionately about providing professional development to educators, that will be really, really wonderful. And then, of course, on the 13th, Brad, wrapping it up with you and I on Friday.
Sounds like a good luck opportunity for us and for our viewers on Friday the 13th to come back together and reflect on the week that was in professional learning and our daily drop-in.
Yeah, I think it'll be some great, great, great discussion. And I will say, Brad, spoiler alert, my last show for a period of time is then that following Monday, because I'm not on daily drop-in between the 17th and the 30th, which is like 2 weeks. It seems crazy. I don't know what I'm going to do not waking up for this show every morning. I'm going to have to like tune in on my phone, but not being on camera is going to be so weird. I feel like I got a dose of it, last week, but it was uncomfortable watching you guys steal the show in the mornings. I don't know.
I'm really hoping that our viewers don't tune in for daily drop-in and just see two empty windows, or someone just wait. Is Ray coming by? We wish you a wonderful time away from those early wake up. I can't imagine that you're not going to be up and at 'em early no matter what. But
to be fair,
go ahead.
I'll be on a big time difference, so it'll actually be like afternoon for me when the show is just kicking off. I think there's an 8-hour time difference. So while you guys are waking up for Daily Drop-In, I know you're taking over a number of shows. So is Jeff Gargis. Shout out to Katie Miglin, and Dr. Dave Schmitto will be really, really active in the show the 17th through the 30th. But I'll be like eating lunch when you guys are on live. So I think it'll be good.
It will be a daily drop-in no matter where you are in the world, Ray, and we'll be thinking of you, and we'll keep the lights on and keep the doors open for people to come in and join us every morning until you return.
I love it. It'll be wonderful. I'm excited to be in the comments to celebrate all the fun. But
perfect.
Fred, I think we need to wrap up this discussion as we kind of head into our incredible Friday, wrapping up the week.
It's been a great week, and we just wish everyone a wonderful day ahead, a beautiful Friday ahead, wherever you are. Do take time this weekend to rest, restore, reconnect with the people, places, and things that bring you joy. And you want to recoup that energy so you can bring it back and give today's best, the best within the best on Monday morning. And Ray, always a pleasure to connect with you on Friday, friend.
Oh, always appreciate you, Brad. Such a wonderful opportunity to connect. And thank you for that incredible call to action and advice as we wrap up the show. If any of you need anything, please feel free to reach out. But we hope you have an absolutely wonderful Friday. Bye, friends. See you next week.